But I've been to, you know how I don't like going to the doctors and stuff?
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're always scared that they might investigate below the bridge.
Yeah, but I checked on that before. I signed up to it, and then they said, right, before we can take you on as a patient, you've got to have a health check, right? Which I thought was odd, because it's almost like saying, if you're ill, we can't be having you coming here, right? But I said, right, okay, fair enough, what is this health check? And they said, oh, you know, we just check your body out and make sure you're fit and healthy. And I thought, that isn't enough information. You know, I want to know if it's the old finger trick. Or, and I said, what do you mean, though, when you said health check, what do you do? And she said, oh, it's just, I think she knew what I was getting at. And she said, oh, it's just the blood pressure, your height, your weight.
Okay.
That's about it. So I went and had it and stuff. But you had to, before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor, they give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was, if you die, what do you want to give away? Right, like a donor. And it had like, it's basically everything you've got in you. It was all your main bits. Your liver, your heart, your kidney, and what have you. And I thought, I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, you know, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was. I think it was 4th on the list.
Right.
So they just sort of crammed it in. I think they know everybody's a bit cautious about giving their eyes away.
No one cares more about the eyes than the liver or the. Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead? Just
because of that thing of, you know, we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing.
Right,
you don't know for sure if.
Well, why would there be? How would there be? How would it work? Why do you think there's an afterlife? Why do you think there's
because we're here already. It blows my mind that we're wandering about this planet anyway. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we're here just by
gravity blows your mind, Carl.
No, but do you know what I mean? The fact of your mum and dad have it away and then you just pop out and it's like, how's that happened? And then it's the
what
fact
happens
that
is the father inserts his...
No, but what I mean is, you know, not just that bit, how I've said before about my heart just sort of pumping away on its own, no one's keeping an eye on it, it's not plugged into anything, and yet I want to move my hand like that and it does it.
Yeah.
That blows me away, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're still worried about whether you control your brain or the brain controls you.
So what I'm saying is, how do you know what goes on after life? Because, do you know what I mean? So why in an afterlife would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart? Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, alright, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh God! Oh, it's amazing! That's an amazing image!
So I didn't tick that box.
but why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost... Say like how they've seen ghosts in...
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo-jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah...
When they see ghosts in, like, old castles and stuff,
yeah,
they've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right, years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out...
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm. So the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No, it does.
It just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in...
Who makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever. Even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, so it's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they stuck with it. So that's
Why
what I'm
did you
saying
see
with the eyes.
cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your
But
arse?
why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done. If that's you saying.
No. But you might have both been suddenly killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
A meteorite hit you, or
Well, that's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round bent forward.
Going,
you've got
"Oh."
a doctor's finger up your arse,
Yeah.
and what are you doing?
You're sort of going, oh, and that's when you have to get the vicar round.
What do you mean?
Because they have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. Okay, right.
See, I don't want to get caught with someone with their finger up my arse when the vicars come round.
The last thing I want to catch me is the vicar coming in when I've got a doctor's finger at my arse. I usually hide in the wardrobe when that happens.
whenever that happens.
So listen,
forget it.
no, wait. So you're haunting, right? It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're around this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the doctor there, the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right, and he's got his fingers up this sort of like little, it's like a chimpanzee but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be. Are you saying the doctor dies as well?
Yeah,
As
they
you?
both die.
You die at the same time with his finger up your ass. And so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. Here's another one.
this
This is extraordinary.
No,
Triple.
but listen to this. Listen to this. This is
Right.
a good one. And
Oh,
I'd
this
like
will
to see
convince
you.
us. This one.
Yeah, this way, okay.
Answer this.
This will be proof. Go on.
I watched the programme the other week about dead people.
Of course you did.
Right? And it was people who had been found in their house. You know, they haven't got any family. They died sat in their armchair. Nobody's knocking on the door, ringing them and checking if they're all right.
Yeah.
Right? So they die and they rot away in a chair.
No.
People, you know, the next door neighbour called up whoever you call up for dead people and go, there's a dead body next door, it's stinking, can you come and get rid of it? Right? They go in and
I forget what service that is.
I don't know where you find that in the Yellow Pages.
It's a good business, though, isn't it?
Hello, corpse removal.
Stinky dead people.
so they go in, there's flies everywhere.
Of course there is, yeah.
The doors and the windows are shut. Where are them flies from?
What do you mean?
Do you know that thing, reincarnation?
Yeah.
I think there it is. There's an example of it. How there was no flies in there. A body rots away.
Yeah.
Out of the body comes flies. So you live
Yes. Or, out of the body comes flies from the maggots that were in the body.
on. Oh, okay, maggot then. So we've gone on. We've lived on.
What do you mean?
I'm just
the
saying
fly
how it
isn't
lived
a
on.
reincarnation of the maggot. The maggot is the larval stage of the fly.
No, but forget all the maggot fly.
Right.
Think about going from man to a fly.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying the windows and the doors on this house was shut tight.
Now,
no,
your
no
question
flies
is-
had got in. They hadn't got in.
They
And
had got in.
They hadn't.
They'd already there. We're surrounded by them. We've probably got fly eggs on us now.
Well, all I'm saying is, it's weird that them flies were in there when they weren't in there. I don't think this fella would have had loads of fly eggs on him.
But
I
it
just
only
think it's a
takes
bit odd.
Why? What do you mean?
I just think there was loads of them. You didn't see it.
But it only takes one fly to lay loads of eggs.
Yeah, but
So you think it's wiser to ignore Ricky's answer and go with your ghostly supernatural reincarnation one? You think that's the wise, sensible way to go?
I
in
just
this?
think it's a bit odd how every time someone's got fly eggs on them.
So
everybody-
that to you is less of a chance of happening than when you die. Some of you turns into flies, fly parts.
Well, that happened when my dad chucked a turkey away in a bin. And it was only in there for about a day. I went to go and put, like, a crisp packet in the bin at the end of the garden and what have you. Picked the lid off, full of flies.
Yeah.
Now, the bin lid, the bin lid, yeah.
It's like a constant fight with his own brain.
was fairly sealed and what have you.
Yeah.
Again, it's the turkey living on.
No, it's not.
We're
It's the
all the
fact that
same.
while it was out on the table.
It hadn't been out on the table. We didn't eat it in the end because it had feathers on it. My mum said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but What do you mean it had feathers on it?
My dad got it off a mate and said, "Yeah, I've got this for Christmas," but it was still virtually alive. And my mum said, "Oh, I'll just get one from the supermarket." So we put it in the bin.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I'm telling you, the eggs were already on it, mate.
It's just an idea I've had. It's a theory. Everyone's allowed one.
But it's bollocks.
Although doesn't Karl sort of... Does Karl go against creationism or for it? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Would he have evolved or did something make it?
All I'll say to would God have bothered to... Is that in God's image? I mean, that's surely the most blasphemous thing you could say.
Bod made him in his image.
Yeah.
He's made in the image of Bod.
Is he the one who sort of decided...
Who?
God. Are we talking about God or Bod?
God and that.
Okay.
Is he the one who decided that, you know, we should move out of the water and walk on land? Did he decide that, or once he made the little egg, did he sort of go run free? I
don't know where we are. I don't know what part of the...
Could I just say, if there are any vicars out there, could Karl come and do a sermon one day? I mean, we do a big donation to your roof, but can Karl just talk to 5 minutes to a really sort of, like an upper middle class educated parish somewhere, and Karl just comes and talks for 10 minutes.
The only time that a congregation anywhere has heckled the person doing it. Get off!
Yeah, then they're chasing to the castle, carrying pickaxe handles.
Torches. So we've got some questions for Karl.
These are amazing questions. Okay.
And just give your immediate response to them, Karl. Not too much thinking time. Yeah,
okay. Right. What would happen if insects were bigger than us?
Who's that from?
Vicky of Milton Keynes, maybe. I don't know. It ran out, so I don't think there is a place called Milto. It's from Vicky. Karl, what would happen if insects were bigger than us? She's going into the possible winner file there.
Would David Attenborough still like his job? Do you know what I mean? Would he start worrying? Because I've got that point, just because, you know, insects and that, he's always messing about with them, but would he be that keen to, like, 8 foot? Is what I mean.
If they look like me. Sure.
Brilliant. Okay. Look, this is a nice one. This is, from, Jason. Can Karl do something to prove you are on live and not recorded? I'm sure that will tax his little bald head to bursting point.
What's his name?
Jason.
How can you prove that we're live on air?
Come on, how could you prove that we're live on air?
Happy Christmas Eve, Jason.
No, we could have recorded this a week ago.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be Christmas Eve.
No, but...
Happy Christmas Eve, isn't it?
No, but we'd have recorded
Karl,
it and...
think!
Alright, it's nearly 11:45.
Yeah, but we could have started with the clock knowing that we were going to record it as live. We could have done this last Wednesday.
Alright, it's Radio 2, it's a nice day out there, sun's out.
Well, that's a guess. And do you think... Oh, it is sunny. Yeah, it is sunny, yeah.
Generally,
but hold on, wait a minute. We're in London. Someone listening in Manchester, it might be raining.
It probably is raining.
Look, he can't work out how to make sure it's live. Look at him looking up in the sky. Look at him. His head is going to burst. There's a little bit of blood coming from his ear. How can we prove we're live?
My mum's budgie died last night. Don't laugh about it. Don't laugh.
Only your mum that can confirm that.
Yeah. No one knows whether your budgie died or not. Was he pictured holding a copy of today's paper? What are you talking about, Karl?
I can't prove anything then.
You're so right.
Next question.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh God, Karl. Where would you go if you had a time machine? That's Bob from Manchester.
Where would I go? I can go to any time.
Yeah.
And now once I get there...
Oh,
yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, what am I doing? Am I staying in the little box and just looking out of a window? Or am I...
Let's assume you can wander around.
Okay, we do both. First of all, you're wandering round.
I'm just and I've typed in the year.
Oh,
to be honest, I'm not that good at history, so I don't know what happened when. So I'd be better off just sort of letting someone else have a go and asking them when they get back, just saying.
Karl, where would you go? What do you fancy? Just think.
Would you like to see dinosaurs?
Would you like to see the Roman Empire? Would you like to see the 1960s? Would you like to go back and see your nan as a kid?
Shouldn't really mess with time though, should you?
No, you're not.
It's not actually going to happen. No one's actually invented one yet.
What period of history are you interested in?
Probably. I mean, I sort of like the 60s. But we
Okay.
still sort of, we don't really.
Next question. Unbelievable. Everyone's got an answer to that. Everyone wants to know where they can go back in time,
Well, where
except
would you go back in time to?
I'd go back to religious times. I'd go back to the birth of Jesus, see what was going on.
Really?
Yeah. See how the frankincense and myrrh went down.
There was this thing started I saw it in the paper about 15 years ago. A guy put an advert in a local paper, I think it was in Sheffield, saying I've been reincarnated. I was a cow at the birth of Jesus. Is anyone else out there that was reincarnated? It was the birth of Jesus. Fella got in touch, said I was a cow too, and they started a society called Cattle for Christ. Just the two of them. I don't know where they held their annual general meetings. I mean,
I wonder
think
if
of
that's still going.
I don't know. But imagine if you were at the birth of Christ and they're going, oh, do you remember it? He goes, yeah, but I couldn't quite see. There was just a bit of wood in it. I didn't really see that. I remember the men. They were arguing over spending.
All I could see was your backside.
I know, yeah. So, think of that, Carl. Okay, final question. Right, okay. Carl, if you could, travel back in time to ancient Rome and take one modern invention with you to set yourself up as a god king, what would it be? What would you take back? That's from Amy. Sorry, Arvy in London.
Going back to Roman times.
Yeah, so what would you take back to make sure that you were king? Would it be a weapon? Would it be,
Yeah, a weapon. It's pretty violent times, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll have a weapon if that's.
Well, what though?
Gun. Have a gun. Take that.
And what would you do with it once you were there?
Well, I'd probably. I mean, I don't like killing animals and that, but they used to use tigers a lot, so shoot one of them in the head. No, because
There's no explanation why.
No explanation
Just
for
do it. Just do it.
I love him. Okay, look, we've got to give this. I think can Carl do something to prove you're live?
Yeah, you completely foxed him. There was nothing he could think of in his tiny little brain to prove that this is live.
So, I think little Jason wins the Coldplay collectibles and, some other stuff. So, well done. He still can't prove it. He still can't prove it.
Play a tune, then we'll have some,
You could have
monkey
just said,
news.
you could have just picked up today's paper and read the headline. Think!
Monkey news after this. Back to the Inside the Actors Studio questions. Question 9. What profession, Carl, would you not like to do?
You see, in a way, some bad jobs are good jobs in a way. Because, one, it means that when you have holiday, you really appreciate it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you see, I always thought, like, when I had a job where I used to have to do, like, 4 hours a night when I worked through the night, I only had 4 hours to do from 2 in the morning till 6, right? But it meant that when I was on holiday, I never really appreciated it, because between 2 and 6, I'd be asleep anyway. So, unless I got up at 2 in the morning and went, I'm relaxing now, instead of working, you don't get the full...
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. The rules that you live by about what you can enjoy and what you can't.
What's good with a holiday, right? If you work in a factory from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, packing socks into a rubber bag, right? Between 8 and... What time did I say my
8.
shift
8
was?
and 8. It's a 12-hour sock packing job. It is murder.
I also like socks into a rubber bag.
Yeah.
I love to get my socks in a rubber bag. And also, he forgot the timings immediately. He said the sentence, then it went out of his head. It's like, so if you're packing, from what time did I say it was? What are they packing?
So, alright, so you're a sock stuffer, you do a 12-hour shift.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So, you go, oh, come on, Rita, no more socks for me. I don't want to see another sock for a week. Have you got the rubber bag? Don't bring the rubber bag, that's the last thing I want to see.
So what I mean is, when you're on the beach, right, by the sea, between 8 and 8, you're thinking, oh, this time yesterday I was packing socks in a rubber bag. And you can really enjoy it. You can keep going... Oh, an hour later you can go, oh, I was packing socks yesterday.
Yeah.
And you can
I'm
keep
glad you're
saying
enjoying it, love. Will you stop going about the fucking socks? We're on holiday.
I don't think this marriage is gonna last.
Oh, look, Rita, I know, you were packing fucking socks yesterday. Let's not fucking talk about it for a week, you boring bastard. Oh, Rita, what? This time I know, you were packing fucking socks in a rubber cunting bag.
No, I was having lunch at this time, you fucking slut.
Oh, Christ almighty.
So what I was saying is, when I was working from 2 in the morning till 6, to really enjoy being off from there, if I was on holiday,
you'd have to get up in the middle of the night
to go, oh, this time yesterday I was playing...
Surely the joy is not having to get up in the middle of the night. Then when you get up and thought, God, thank God I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night like I usually do. I slept through like a normal person. Surely that's the joy.
I think the joy is going, oh, I'm normally doing this at this time.
But that's ridiculous, because if you worked, right, till 6 AM, you presumably went to bed and slept in till sort of 3 in the afternoon or something, yeah? So you'd be up at 10 AM going, wow, usually I'm asleep, so you get it then. So you're talking shit again.
Song for Lovers.
People have been wondering whether the show is live or if it's pre-recorded. Well, if it weren't live, then how could Grace email in telling us how much she hates the show?
Brilliant.
She says, she says, "Dear Ricky, I think you are a prat."
She's got my attention already.
She opens with that, comes in straight away.
That's her opening gambit.
But she doesn't just leave it there. She qualifies it. She says, "All you do is slag people off on your show and think it's funny." I disagree. We've slagged off Karl.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much the only one.
But Karl, all I've said is you are stupid, and I mean, by your own admission, you must know you're stupid, don't you?
You know, I'll get by on that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fair comment, isn't it? And the other people we slagged off are people who like to see foxes ripped to pieces, so which I stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I'm sick of listening to you be rude about the world and certain people. Rude about the world? Are we being rude about the world? Well, anyway, I have to turn off the radio. I'm surprised anyone listens to you. Please try growing up.
Oh, she missed her dedication.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
What annoys me with Grace is that,
Nothing annoys me about Grace. Careful what you're doing.
all I say is I think she's...
opinion.
No, I'm saying she's...
And?
I'm saying, Rick, she should have criticised us for the obvious problems. We're incompetent.
We're not very good
not
at all.
entertaining. We drone on too much.
Yeah, but we don't slag off the world. We love the world. We love the world and Karl. In fact, the thing is about the world and Karl is that he's the same shape as the world, and that's why I like him, because that's all you need there, little round...
I can't help but think the pot calling the kettle black there, Rick.
What? My body's round. My head is sort of fat and square. So how dare you?
Just quickly before we move on to the final bit of the sermon, we just thinking back to some of the other highlights of the year. One of mine, Rick, I'm sure one of yours, Live 8.
Live 8 was great fun.
Not only was it a great day, but obviously it made its message very much clear and open to the world. Did you enjoy Live 8, Karl?
Yeah, it was alright. It was, quite a good thing. I mean, has it sorted the problems out, or...?
Well, it's more about raising awareness, isn't it, and bringing that to the world's attention.
I'm aware of it, so yeah, it's sort of done the job in that. But I read something about,
Unbelievable.
Do you know, but, because Live 8 was all about money and stuff, wasn't it, giving money? And
no, it wasn't really.
Well...
It was about awareness, but it was about, the G8...
Dropping the debt.
Cancelling the debt to I think the 20th poorest nations or something, which I think...
Yeah. Well, then I was reading up on that, and there was something about, do you know Bill Gates?
Yeah.
Who did the computer stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's the
Microsoft.
wealthiest man in the world or something.
Absolutely, I think the first 100 billionaire.
Wow.
Was he?
That is a lot of money, because they worked out, they put to him that, with his labour, what his labour's worth, he would have to drop over $6,000 to be bothered to pick it up.
Wow.
And they asked him, and he said, well, of course I'd pick it up, because it doesn't work like that. But yes, he's that rich.
But he could just pay someone to do it as well, couldn't he?
Okay, get on with it, Karl. Again, you've missed the point. Again, you've missed the point.
But all I'm saying...
Sorry, Gracie, in wherever you are, Karl's an idiot, and I stand by it.
Bill Gates...
And don't rip foxes to pieces.
He's got that much money, right? He's saying that he could give everyone in the world, right, £6.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, right? And just what I was thinking and what I were to say to you, see what you think, right? Do you think it's fair that everybody gets £6?
Right, why? What's your point?
What do you mean? You mean the poor should get more?
Well, no, not really. What I mean is, say like if you live in Africa, right?
Yeah.
You can get a lot more for, say, £1 there than you can in London. So what I'm saying is, rather than £6 each,
yeah,
maybe give people in London a tenner each, in Africa or whatever, give them about £3, £3.50.
So you're saying, give the poorest people less, so they can get as much for their money in their Argos?
Yeah, basically.
You're saying if you were to redistribute wealth, you'd give the poor people slightly less than the rich people because they've got a higher standard of living. Gracie, once again, can I come back to you on this? Do you know now why I call him a dick? Oh, you know what I like about Gracie? She told the truth and she put her name. It's Grace, actually. She put her name down. Some people, I mean, just say you're a prat and they believe
They just shout at you across the street.
Yeah,
Hey, fat man, you're not funny.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I rest my case. Carl, you're an idiot.
Alright.
But we're gonna do something that we used to do on our local radio show called Rockbusters. Sounds a bit like Blockbusters, a television programme that used to be on television where they gave sort of real cryptic clues. Yours aren't cryptic clues, yours are ridiculous. So explain Rockbusters.
Give out an initial of a artist or a band
Yeah.
that knocking about like now or ages ago, and I give a cryptic clue.
Not a cryptic clue. Very rarely cryptic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's nonsense, but...
Well, as we once said, I think it is more accurately described a craptic clue.
Yeah.
Well,
Or what am I thinking?
are you going to give an example, or will we just do them?
The classic example, of course, for me is a woman. She's an artist. The initials are WH. She was wandering around
Texas.
in Texas. She fell over. A part of her leg fell in a puddle. Wet knee, Houston.
That is the level.
That's what you're working with, people.
So it's going to give 3 of these. The first email that gets them all right, the first email we get, and it's timed, isn't it, email, so we can know, that gets all these clues exactly right, can win, what, a signed photo of Carl?
Now that is exclusive. There are not very many. I don't think they even exist, do they? There are no signed photos of Carl. So this will be a collector's item.
Right. So, yeah, there's 3 different ones. When you send it in on email, podcast@rickygervais.com, just put in the subject thing like Rockbusters so I know what I'm looking for.
Mm.
Right then, so three different clues for you to work on. First one.
Oh, shouldn't I do a jingle for this?
Please.
Okay. Oh, that sounds cryptic, no, Pilkington!
Rockbusters.
Right, first one, the initial, right, is B.
The initial B. Band
B,
or artist.
So, band or an artist beginning with the letter B.
Mm-hmm.
The cryptic clue. Well, I don't want a house that's that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it. Right? That's the cryptic clue. Well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it. Right? B. Artist or band. Who is it? Right? Work on that one. Second one. It's B again. B. Letter B for the band or the artist.
Alright.
Cryptic clue. Right? That part of my leg is English.
That's it, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
That part of my leg is English. Initial B. What is it? Part of my leg is English. And then the last one, KW, artist or band, and the cryptic clue, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment. What's going on there? Right, KW, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment. Work on them, right? Send in the answers, podcast@rickygervais.com, and just win some signed picture and that. Right, so last week's clues, there was 3 of them. I give you initial of an artist or a band, and a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
You work it out, you email it in, you win a signed picture and that.
Mm.
First one was, well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it.
Go on.
Right, so that was B.
Yeah.
That's, that was Beyonce. Beyonce. Like,
Yeah.
like a cryptic thing. You got that? Second one.
I stand.
Beyonce.
That
Beyonce.
part of my leg is English. The initial was B. That was Britney. Right?
Britney.
Yeah, so it's like British. Britney.
But so you're just taking the one half of her name, are you now?
Well, she's known as that now.
Mm.
I think she's known
I don't
more
know who
as,
she is,
more
but
as,
fine.
more as Britney than
Okay.
Britney Spears. They don't really call her that anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also, British isn't the same as English.
Yeah, I know. I realised that, but it was too late.
Brilliant.
That's what you're up against.
Just like that only wants to be a millionaire.
The last one was the initials were KW,
Yeah.
and the clue was the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment, right? So you've got to sort of think about that. You've got
Yeah.
to think about a fitness teacher
Yeah.
he's working out and that.
Yeah.
But he's got a speech impediment, so when it like comes to like
Well, no,
finishing-
you didn't say all this in the clues.
But-
but it was just that one was Kanye West, right?
Kanye West.
So I'm just saying,
Why
like,
would
you
a
know,
fitness teacher say Kanye West?
because he's got a speech impediment and he's been working him out. They've built up a sweat, and he's like, right.
Well, no, you
everyone-
didn't say all that, so it doesn't matter. You
But
don't-
anyway, but even if that is the case, what is he saying?
He's saying, "Oh, like, can we rest now?"
as in, can we rest now?
Yeah, just kind of because they say that at the end. It's like, right, everybody.
So he's got a speech impediment, he's very, very camp, and he's adding words. Okay, but apart from that, it works perfectly.
So-
that is bollocks, you're an idiot.
So that was the first three.
Who
and,
won? Fornication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now we've got some Red Hot Chili Peppers stuff to give away as well.
We've got a Red Hot Chili Peppers platinum disc.
Brilliant. Only platinum on this show.
Yeah.
None of your gold muck.
Absolutely.
None of
We
your-
need some kind of quiz question, because we want to make sure that only a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan gets this merchandise, obviously.
Okay, what about something like, famously they were, photographed with a sock over their what?
Anyone can get that.
That's too easy, isn't it? Notice I was all coy, I didn't want to say that. Why didn't I just say... Oh no, because I was asking the question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I? Yeah. What would people phone in, do you think? They'd have to say, oh, that's no good. It was there. We know what it was over there. What would I say? On Radio 2?
John Thomas?
John Thomas, over there. They think that's probably a member of the band.
Yeah.
What do you say when you go to the doctor with your trouble? Look, okay, I know what we're talking about. We're talking about a man's parts downstairs. That's what they popped
Well,
us
if I
off
went to
on.
the doctor, I'd be honest. I'd just say, excuse me, doctor, I've got a problem with my penis.
Wouldn't that make you laugh, saying that? Even to a doctor, even though it's an official term, wouldn't you be...
Well,
It's funny, isn't it, going to saying... Because you never use that term,
no,
do
it's
you?
because it's formal, I suppose.
It's like you're trying to sort of like put on airs and graces because
Yeah.
you're in the company of a doctor. What would you say?
what if I had a problem?
Yeah.
I had to go to the doctor.
With your...
I probably wouldn't go.
What do you mean?
I'd show it to Suzanne and say, is that normal? No, I haven't. I mean, I'm 32,
Why
right?
should
I've
she
never.
know necessarily?
No, just you know, they.
She's
sort
not
of-
a doctor, and there's nothing about you that's normal. So I can only imagine.
No, but you know what I'm like. I have, you know, Suzanne, my girlfriend, wants me to go to that Wellman clinic. I've said, oh, no way.
Oh,
If
yeah,
I- unless I'm really ill.
Well, you
Right.
should. You should get everything checked out.
I know,
To
but
finger up the...
I know,
So
I
what's
don't
your, so
check.
what's the quiz question?
What's the funniest term for it? No. What do women call it when they go? Because that's even worse, isn't it? I don't know. What does your mum call her?
She's never sort of brought it up. With me. What do you mean? What does she call it? And even when I was a kid, she didn't give it a name. It's just even now,
What did she call yours then? When if you had mummy, I got
she didn't.
a. What you never discussed?
Why,
If you had a pain.
No, just get on with it and that.
What do you say for if you want to go to the toilet when
Just
you're
go.
little?
I'll just say, oh, I'm just nipping to the toilet.
No, when you were 3, you didn't say, all right, mum, I'm just nipping to the toilet. Get me fags ready when I come out. I'm dying for it. What do you?
I never gave it a name.
What do you mean? You never said what? So how did you let your mum know I wanted to go to the toilet?
I think, well, we hadn't moved. We lived in the same house for ages, so I knew where the toilet was and stuff. And I just went
Not
myself.
when you were 2.
Well, I honestly, well, I can't remember then if I did have a
Spend
name.
a penny?
What do you say now?
Well, I don't have to announce it. I know where the toilet is. I don't
what's the quiz
understand the question.
I don't know. What's the quick? Oh, this is difficult, isn't it? We haven't planned this show.
Before the trail, we heard Feeder on Radio 2. Steve Merchant here with Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington. We were talking before that about rotten gifts, and particularly gifts that Karl's received in the past. We're just actually thinking now, because we've got to give away this, we haven't got to give away, but we're generously giving away a Eurythmics Platinum disc. So if you're a Eurythmics fan, or indeed if you're not, but perhaps you know someone who is, and maybe you got some rotten gifts for Christmas, then you can get in touch with us, let us know what the worst gift is that either you received this year, or maybe even in the past, you know, something that really you just was terrible. Maybe you, like Karl, had the poker face when you received it, you politely opened the box, but inside you were dying. But you can get in touch with us, 882921, we've got the email gervais@bbc.co.uk, or you can phone us, 0500 288 291. The worst gift ever will receive the Eurythmics Platinum disc.
Well, talking of gifts, I got my girlfriend a few gifts. A trip to Paris and a few little bits and pieces, and one of which was a trip to the theatre.
Nice.
A thing we'd walked past before and we'd wanted to look really great. The Woman in Black, which is on at the Fortune Theatre in Covent Garden. I bought 4 tickets so, you know, we could, she could take some people. She chose to take, Karl and Suzanne.
Well, of course, now I think it's a scary play, isn't it? It's a spooky
It's a
play.
scary thing,
So
it's
you
about
thought instantly
ghosts.
Karl's the man.
Absolutely. And it was great, wasn't it? And the theatre was so lovely, and the production is so so lush, and it's genuinely really. It's been going for 17 years. They really honed it, and and it was great watching Karl. At one point, we were in a box, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and I just pointed to show Karl that this face was appearing, right? But as I was pointing, he didn't see me pointing, my finger came into his peripheral vision, and he went, "Oh!" And I laughed for about 5 minutes, because he just saw a finger come in. I wasn't even trying to wind him up in that, 'cause that was such a bonus for me, and I nearly died. But the reason we were in a box, I went there and I said, "Oh, can I get a box?" And they said, "Oh, the boxes are a little bit small and cramped." I went, "Okay." So okay, we'll give you some really good seats. So we got some nice seats downstairs. And do people go to the theatre these days to clear their throat?
Yeah.
And their nose?
Yeah.
Because I was surrounded by people going, which I find absolutely disgusting. That even annoyed me doing it, and I apologise to people at home listening. And coughing and eating sweets, chatting about things, right? And I was getting a bad neck. You know what I'm like, kind of thing. I just wanted it to be silent, right? So, in the interval, I said, I went up to the manager, I said, "Oh, can we wear the box?" And they went, "Oh, yeah, fine, yeah." It was free, they didn't sell it. So we went up there, and they let us go in one. The first one, we had to go past some people in the interval, treading past people, sorry.
I'm a celebrity, I get a box.
yeah, that's exactly, So they probably think, oh, they've given it to him for special treatment. I was gonna buy it, it's no extra money, but they just didn't sell it, 'cause it was, you know.
Another reason to hate you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But we went in there was only 3 chairs, so I went, oh, this was the other box has got 4 chairs. Karl went, "I'm not going out there again." Right, so we said, "I'll sit on the floor." Imagine him sitting on the floor.
Were you sat on the floor with your little head peeking over the edge of the box?
No, this is it.
So I went, "Oh, let's go." We went out, he was so embarrassed. Of course, everyone's going, "Oh, no. Walking past people again, went in the box. Everyone's looking at the box now.
Yeah.
Right? And Karl was horrified. Karl was trying to hide, but it was...
To be honest, I mean, the idea of a box is you get a better view, but I didn't, because I was like, "Oh, I have to sit right at the back."
Yeah.
I might as well have been, like, near the fire exit. I just was like, I don't want to be sitting
No,
next
that's
to
not the idea of boxes to get a better view. I think it's from days where it was how you were meant to be seen. The boxes face each other, right? And you're meant to see who's in the other box. It was very a socialite type thing. The boxes are probably the worst view in the theatre. That's why some theatres don't actually sell them. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather have to lean forward and see something than be surrounded by people chewing
But
and sniffing.
it wasn't that bad though, Steve. That's the thing. You know what he's like.
Oh, well,
I mean, anything that's meant to be like a nice relaxing night out, whether it's going for a nice quiet meal, suddenly turns into this, like, nightmare.
Well, I won't go to public
evening.
places with Ricky, because there's always something that'll annoy him, and then he won't take it out on them, he'll take it out on you.
Yeah.
We gotta leave, it's too smoky, it's too noisy, it's not noisy enough. There's music, there's not music, it's an absolute nightmare.
Well, people annoy me, that's all.
Stressful. So I mean, just the other day, right, I went out for something to eat. Nice, quiet, you know, Italian place. I walk in, there's about 6 people in there, having a nice, quiet meal, you know, quiet. I thought, that's good, he's not gonna complain about the noise and that. Sit down, I have some arrabbiata, which is nice and that.
Alright.
Anyway, he starts sort of normal chat, saying how he'd like to put my head in a vice.
Sorry, he'd like to put your head in a vice?
In a vice, yeah.
Not really.
Sort of normal, sort of.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I was just thinking that it would be lovely to put him in one, you know those vice that are sort of attached to workbenches?
Yeah.
Just so, not to, just put it in there so he's caught there, and then I can sort of do what paint his head or something, or feel it squeezing. And I just imagined sort of squeezing it too tight, didn't I?
So he's saying all this, right, which I'm getting the sort of picture enough without sounds, right? But then he thinks, well, why not add sounds? It's quiet in here, right? Starts sort of going, so your head's in the vice, tighten it, and you're sort of going, right? So he's sat in a chair, quiet restaurant, doing that. It's like the scene out of When Harry Met Sally, right? All these, like, tourists and that sat there sort of going, oh, Ricky Gervais over there. And suddenly, like, from a look of, like, oh, that's good, it's Ricky Gervais, to what the hell is going on?
But I just imagine his little head, because what he do, I just imagine him in a tighten, I go,
Is there any other radio show that's ever been on Radio 2 that has had this discussion?
Well, no.
Does Johnny Walker, OBE, ever say, I'd love to put Terry Wogan's head in a vice and see what happens?
Oh, dear. Stones, Waiting on a Friend. Great track.
Amazing tune.
So, Karl you've studied the Bible over the last couple of days,
Well,
and you're going to give us basically the Bible abridged. Is that right? Just condensed.
just that, you know, it's that time of the year when
Well, let's
religion, no matter
save
who you
it.
are,
Let's
and that.
do a sermon. Everyone settle down at home. Turn the radio up. This is Reverend Karl Pilkington with the history of the Bible.
All right, thank you very much. Right, well, thanks for coming. Starting off, you know, I mean, I started off at the beginning of the book, what have you.
The Bible, we'll call it for the sake of argument.
Right. There's quite a bit missing. It doesn't say about how sort of God was already about, so it doesn't go right back to the beginning.
Right, okay.
God's already knocking about and that.
Yep.
Anyway, he made the world, right? He did all that, right?
Yeah.
He sorted out sort of sun for in the day and that, so everything's light and you can see yourself about.
Right.
He did the stars and the moon for at night, right? I was thinking about that. If I was him, I probably would have just let it be day all the time rather than having two systems.
We're not criticising.
No,
gods.
I'm not
Okay.
having a go. I'm just saying. I mean, it's easy now, isn't it, in hindsight, to sort of say, do you know what?
It's easy
Yeah.
to really criticise him, but he was working.
He's
blind,
sort
you know.
of loosened the top. You just got it off. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he did a lot of the work. Yeah, cheers.
No, I'm just saying though, like they mess about with the clocks and that because of farmers getting up in the dark and that. If it was day all the time, less crime and that. I'm just saying it might have been worth an idea.
You missed a trick there, is what you're saying.
But he moves in mysterious ways, so you don't know why he's done that. He might be thinking something that your small brain can't really.
Fair enough. I'm not having a go. Like I say, I'm just reading it and thinking about it. That's what it's all about, innit?
Yeah,
Education, get yourself
Absolutely.
thinking.
Yeah,
right?
go on.
Anyway, so he did all that. He made the sun and that, and then he said, "Oh, make some creatures and stuff." He made a load of birds, loads of different birds, creatures, animals and that. Because with the world being so big, it's like if you buy a big house, you need more furniture, don't you?
Right.
So he made this, and he was like, "Oh, God, what am I going to fill it with?" So this is why he did all these.
Right. That's
animals.
not actually in the Bible. You
No, this is-
speculated there on the
Yeah.
mind of God.
Well, I'm sort of just treating it like it's his big house,
Right,
isn't it?
okay.
And he's filling it, he's making it look nice, different birds and what have you. Right? It's just my opinion. Like I
It's
say.
making it sound like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, so he does all that, and he thinks, right, I'll make a little man and a woman,
Sure.
who we all know as, like, Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Everyone knows their names, but at no point is their surname mentioned. Right?
Well, he's not going to have trouble with the post, is he?
So anyway, right, Adam and Eve are knocking about. The God says to him, look, just enjoy yourselves and that, right? Do what you want, but I'll tell you this. I'm only telling you once, he said. He said, don't be eating fruit from that special tree.
Yeah.
So they were like, alright, fair enough. He said, the tree that I'm talking about is the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's sort of made it a little bit worse, because it sounds good and that, and you're like, oh, knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, don't go in that door. Yeah,
Is that
exactly,
sort of
yeah.
thing, instead of just sort of not telling them. Because I don't know, see the tree of knowledge, what I add on it by what I can work out is, it's an apple tree, right? And it's pretty tempting, isn't it, to have a little cheeky apple, because I don't know what they were eating back then.
Right.
Do you know what they were getting by on?
No, I don't know.
Right, so anyway, so they were like, yeah, alright, whatever. Eve goes for a wander about,
Yeah.
right? Killing time and that. Bumps into this snake,
Oh, yeah.
and Snake said, said, alright, you got an apple, right? And he was selling it, so he was going, it tastes good and that, right? And she's like, well, shouldn't really, but, you know, I've been told that I shouldn't eat that, because I think God said to her at some point,
Oh, get on with it. You're on page 1 at
This
the
is
moment.
absurd,
This
Carl. We
is
gotta
just unbelievable.
no, but I'm just
Just
painting-
get to the point. You're on page 1. You haven't moved on. Just get. Okay, we know Adam and Eve. What have you learned?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, he was saying don't eat it, because it's
Yeah, I
dangerous.
know. We know. Get on with it. Just get on. I mean, oh.
But the thing is, people do eat things that are dangerous, don't they? Like, and pufferfish, even to this day, people are eating stuff that can kill them.
Yeah.
So it's not a threat. They're not that bothered. It's an apple, right? They're gonna have a little cheeky apple. Anyway, they eat it, right? God goes mental at them. He said, I told you not to do that. I've told you can enjoy yourself and everything. You've gone against what I said. You've eaten the apple. Adam and Eve sort of got told off and what have you. They went off and had kids. That added extra pressure. A lot of arguments happened, and that's kind of part 1.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So, Oh, you're an idiot. Really, you are an idiot.
Well, part 2 later then.
You better buck up your ideas in part 2.
Kate Bush, King of the Mountain. Must be a song about the Tour de France or something.
Yep.
Wear a helmet. Always wear a helmet.
Good advice. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Rick, last week we had a spokesperson from the Church of England who was offering a spot at some kind of Manchester church for Karl to do a sermon, educate the kids on the Bible and all things religious. We've preempted that. We're first instalment in the first hour, and it was very slow.
You've got to be quicker. If this is a Brit, I mean, that was nearly longer than the real thing.
Yeah,
that, I mean,
you're turning people off religion.
I mean, God only took 6 days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you were pushing that.
But this is what.
And he made it. You were just talking about it.
Well, this is what vicars do, isn't it? They drag it out. This is their living. If
they don't
rushed
drag it out. What do you mean?
When you go to church.
What do you mean if they do? If they rushed it, what?
Well, they wouldn't have a job, would they? So you've got to make sure you do everything that needs to be told.
You reckon they're milking it, do you?
Well, just a little bit. I mean, you said that, not my words. But yeah, that's why I can't, rush it. You've got to tell the story, haven't you?
Alright, well, you need to get the Old Testament out of the way, because we're not even on to the New Testament yet.
No.
We've only got an hour and 10
Well,
minutes.
I'll just do it right.
Jesus hasn't even made an appearance, and he's like the star, isn't he?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we're all waiting for him to make it.
Yeah, he's like Brad Pitt coming in.
And I'll tell you, this, at the moment, it's a bit like the film King Kong I went to see. 3 hours long. It's 50 minutes before Kong makes an appearance.
Well, exactly. Let's get to the main event. Come on.
I can't now, anyway. Just where we left off, just in case you've just
Can I just say,
tuned in.
this is-
Don't recap.
I'm just saying that Jesus is the main event because it's the Church of England. There are other religions where he's probably not as high up.
He's not as featured as
He's
probably.
not. No, he'd be third on the fourth on the billing.
No,
Right, go on.
all I'm saying is we left it where Adam and Eve had kids, they were arguing a lot, the kids didn't listen to the
Well,
mum
they
and
weren't
dad.
arguing a lot.
They did, they had a bit of an
The
argument.
kids did, yeah, but Adam and Eve didn't argue, did they? They were loving it. They were having a great time.
Well, no, not once he ate the apple.
I'm an atheist, and I'm trying to help him out.
Can we get on with it? Because we're just recapping what we already got bored over
Yes,
here.
come on! Get on with it!
I'm just saying.
Oh.
So the kids didn't listen to the mum and dad because they had a criminal record and that for nicking the apple. The kids were running riot, they're not bothered. So, let's pick up.
I'd like to apologise there. I'm just going to say, it really isn't worth complaining. He doesn't know what he'd get off. In a court of law, he'd get off. He's got, I don't know, he wouldn't be culpable for his own actions.
Come on,
'cause he's an
even
idiot.
I'm getting bored of this now.
Okay.
Right, so, God, he got to a point where he's going, it's all going wrong, right? People are doing what they want, Adam and Eve aren't listening, all the rest of it.
No, he gave them free will.
I've got to
so
do
the story
something.
goes, oh, this is making me ill.
So, anyway, right, so he said, how can I get rid of all the badness and that? So, he made it rain, right? It rained for ages, people got sick of the rain and that, right? Cleaned it all out, right? Before he did that, though, I forgot something that's quite important. He met up with this bloke, Noah.
They met up over a coffee.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he said to Noah, look,
Get an umbrella.
I like you and that. Here's a little job for you.
All I'll say is buy shares in galoshes.
Yeah.
Words
no,
of
I
advice.
don't want to give anything away, but you get a boat.
Yeah.
And get a big boat.
He said, what I want you to do, right, make this boat up. He said, and when you've done that, go about, right, and get 2 of everything. Right? So, it
Man
was
and
like,
female.
that's a big job, isn't it? Right?
Man and female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you know, because do you know I always say I always put myself in the situation of the person's job and that?
Yeah.
I was thinking I can sort of sort out a man elephant, man woman and that. I wouldn't know how to do it with a spider. What?
I don't know why he brought on spiders. I do not know why Noah brought on spiders, because he missed an opportunity there. Get rid of all things like that. Get rid of the spider, and get 4 flamingos or something. Or get 8 chimps. Let's use the space wisely.
But the weird thing is, right, with the spiders as well, because he did get the spiders on, didn't he? It rained, right? It rained for ages, like, what was it, weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Raining that. So, and then he let out a bird, I think it was a raven.
No, it wasn't.
Right, come on, let him finish.
No, this
It
is
wasn't a raven.
This is a fact. He let a raven out, right, and it didn't come back. So already his system had broken, because he only had 1 raven left then, right? So he was like, oh. So, he said, right, he left it a couple of days, he sent a dove out.
Oh, that's it. That's what I know. You've been more than me. I'll say. Sorry.
well,
Is that what he did? He let a
yeah.
raven out firstly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Never trust a raven. Always give it to the dove.
dove came.
Don't send a raven to do a dove's
I
job.
reckon the Raven found another arc, an unofficial arc that was just like a party arc.
No, look, come on.
No,
Come on.
right, so the dove came back.
Yeah.
So he said, right, there must be dry land somewhere. Right?
Okay.
So anyway, he was like, let's just hang about.
Why
for a
do you
bit.
think that?
'Cause it found a twig or something.
Exactly. Say what you. Why could that be the top of a tree though? Why could it? How did he know that?
Don't
Rick,
know.
if you are going to add to this, we're never going to get it done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right, so there was mud everywhere because the water went down. Mud everywhere.
Where did the water go?
Shut up!
Where did it go?
Shut up! We haven't got time to go into
It doesn't
that.
make sense. If the whole world was flooded, where did the water
We have
go?
not got time for this.
Where did the water go?
This is mental.
Did they refreeze the ice caps? What? Tell me. Is it? It's got to be
Didn't
specific.
say it was a kid's Bible, wasn't it? It wasn't going in depth. It just said the water went away, right?
Where?
It floated off. Oh, I can't be bothered. The one that I picked up on, right, that I could relate to.
Okay.
Do you know Samson Delilah?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what happened in that?
Yes.
Right. Well, just in case you haven't heard the story of Samson Delilah, what it is, I think God had a word with some bloke. I can't remember his name. I think it's Manoah or something. His name was.
Right.
He said, "Listen, I'm still having problems. Adam and Eve let me down."
He didn't say that, by the way. Anyone listening, at no point has God ever said, Adam and Eve let me down.
No,
Anyway.
but, and then he had a word with Noah. He did the boat thing, so he said, "I can't ask for two favours, right?"
Sure.
So he asked this other bloke, Manoah.
He was happy with Noah, though, was he?
Yeah. He let him go on though. It's like jury service. Once you've done it, you're left alone for a bit, aren't you? So anyway,
Did he?
right, so
He didn't bother getting the fish on the boat, did he?
I don't know.
They were happy, weren't they? Surely.
But anyway, he had a
although
word-
was it salt water everywhere? Why didn't the freshwater fish die out?
Rick, I'm just going to stop you there because we've still got to get monkey news in before 1 o'clock.
So he
please.
had a word
Okay.
with this fella, and he said, "Look, what I'm going to do, you're going to have a kid soon. It's going to be a little boy, right? When he grows up, he's going to sort out my problems." So it was like a long-term plan that he had sorted, right? So anyway, they have the kid, right? They're happy. They've got a little baby boy. They go, right, what we'll do to show our respect to God, we'll never cut his hair, right? Because he'll like that, right?
We're still in the Old Testament, aren't we?
I don't think Jesus is going to make appearance.
Oh, so they called him Samson,
Yeah.
right? And he grew up, right? Never cut his hair.
Yeah.
His hair made him strong, right? He was going about, he was helping people out, he was stopping wars and that because he was so strong. His hair made him strong and that, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, nobody knew that. Nobody knew it was his hair that did the job. So this is right so far, isn't it?
I don't know the ins and outs.
So anyway, what happened is, women are loving him all of a sudden. He's got nice long hair and that, he looks the part, he's stopping problems. Women are going, he's a good fella, isn't he, this Samson bloke? I
Like
love him."
Stringfellow.
Anyway,
That's the power of pulling, is in Stringfellow's hair.
Yeah.
That's why he never cuts it.
Exactly.
Whatever the decade,
Yeah.
Peter Stringfellow never cuts his hair, because that's where the power lies.
anyway, he didn't realise he had this power until one day, he got up, right, did his hair and that, went out, a lion jumped out,
Oh.
he killed it with his hands, with his bare hands,
Wow.
right? So again, Noah was a bit annoyed, because that's one of the ones that he saved. But anyway, right, so he goes, I can't believe this power I've got, right? I'm gonna, like, sort out the world's
Didn't the
problems.
lion have long hair, though, as well?
Oh,
Well, no, well, just what?
no, but you're always picking on the to be honest though, that's as far as I got anyway. So
That's it. So if you were interested by those, you can buy the Bible in all good bookshops and read the rest. Is that what you're saying?
Or any religious book.
Yes,
we
you can
don't
remember
we
the
don't
Torah, the
discriminate.
Quran.
I'm an atheist. In the Ghetto by Elvis. That's one of the 10 songs that Karl likes.
Yes.
I mean, I've never met anyone who is, I don't know, so underwhelmed by music and the plethora of
no, I
tunes.
do like it.
But it was saying about when I first got my iPod, which I absolutely love, okay, and I was downloading, I said, it's got 10,000 songs. He went, wasn't he that many for? He said, I like a Walkman. He said, you know, you're going for a walk, listen to that. He said, how long's the walk? When do you need 10,000 records? And he was trying to work with the ones he put on, and he got to about 7. And what do you like? You only like songs with a story.
Mainly a song that, you know, when you pop it on, you go, right, I'm gonna listen to this for however long it is, and you've got to check it all out. You can't just turn it off and fade it off, because you've got to hear how the story ends.
But how many times
why
can you
not?
hear the same story? I mean, it's a great tune, but it's not because it's a story, it's because the lyrical content, apart from the story aspect, and the beautiful tune, and the way he sings, and the production.
it's not about that, it's-
Otherwise you just go, bloke, he born on the wrong side of the tracks, tries to nick a car, gets shot. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but think about what you just said, and what I'm saying is, if you get up to, oh, he was born on the wrong side of the tracks or whatever, I'll turn it off now, you'd be going, oh, I wonder what happened to him. So you listen to it all.
What other songs are there songs of the story?
There's one, Johnny Cash, when he's nicking a car from a factory.
What happens there? I don't remember that song.
He works in a car factory, and every day he's going, right, I'll nick a little bolt, right?
Yeah.
Then he nicks a wing mirror, and I think he nicks like a gear stick and that.
So if you've got 7 songs that you like, I mean, it must be. What's your favourite? What's your favourite song of
But
all
how
time?
could you do that? Because you haven't heard how that ended now, you see. I've just told you there what he was doing.
Because you've probably got it wrong.
I haven't, and then what happens at the
I
end?
assume everything you say
Alright.
is probably wrong.
There you go then, you'll never know, and that will annoy you now. So, other songs I like, Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Oh yeah, that's your favourite song, isn't it?
That's good.
Because it's yeah.
What's the story there?
Just about a little gay fella goes to New York, because that's, like, I think it was in the 70s when, like, you know, if you were gay and that, New York was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was like, you know, where they all went and stuff. Had a good life there. His dad didn't, I think his dad kicked him out or something.
No, I'm sure you're thinking of Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. I'm sure you're getting
Confusing
all
them.
these mixed up just because it's another little gay fella, as you call him.
Anyway, he goes to New York.
He goes to New York.
He's having a wedding time.
Yeah, having a good time in the 70s.
Oh, you're right. His dad said, "How can a son of mine not be straight?" I take it all back. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And he goes to New York and that. They go out late, don't they? They have like late nights out and
Ooh,
stuff.
what do you mean?
No, I just mean, you know, gays like to party and that. They like to live. You know what I mean? They get the most out of life and that. Partying late. He was on his way
No,
home.
I'm sorry. That's such a general.
Everyone
sweeping
goes out late and
statement.
parties.
What do you mean they like to go out late?
No, it's just if you go in Soho in London,
Yeah.
right, at like 5 in the morning, you think it was like rush hour. It's
But
mental.
you assume
Partying.
anyone who takes a bit of pride in their appearance is gay.
Well, I mean, no, you can look after yourself and that without being a little gay fella, but I'm just saying that's what that song's about. And
Can I just say anyone's offended by this, he means no harm, he doesn't know, he knows not what he says, really, everything from Karl is totally genuine, he's not having a go, you live and let live, don't you? There is,
yeah.
He's a bit like Mork from Mork and Mindy.
he hasn't got a prejudicial bone in his body, but go on then.
yeah, so, and then because he was out late, he was walking back and sort of, it's a bit of a sad ending, he gets attacked and that, but it's a good song if you want a song with a story. Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Brilliant.
So,
Well, I'm thinking maybe we should get people to just text in, just a few people, if they've got any songs they can recommend to Karl. And we maybe getting played to him. so we
Pinball
can-
Wizard. That
Pinball
was a
Wizard
good one.
Love.
That was a good one. That's about blind fella.
Right.
Deaf, dumb and blind kid.
Oh yeah, deaf, dumb and blind, right? But he loves pinball. I don't know if he knows what he's playing. No, it's just that he's a pinball wizard, but you know, if he's deaf, dumb and blind, does he know what game he's playing?
Sure.
Does he even bother putting money in it? Look, no, forget it. If you're gonna